The Pentagon once ran a classified war simulation. The result was clear. America loses Vietnam. They went in anyway. Decades later, the invasion was fast. Controlling the country was not. Afghanistan lasted 20 years. It collapsed in 11 days. $6 trillion later, there still isn't a clean strategic victory. Here's the disturbing part. 2,500 years ago, someone already wrote the manual explaining why this keeps happening. And we ignored him. His name was Sun Wu. But he didn't write about war. He wrote about how humans are programmed to lose. 545 BC. Sun Wu, born in Qi, age 20. Family backs the wrong prince. They lose everything. Flee to Wu. Sun Wu wasn't a philosopher. He was a behavioral hacker. 15 years. He studies every war, every defeat, every catastrophic decision in recorded history. He's looking for the pattern, and he finds it. Humans don't fail randomly. They fail systematically. Like code running the same loop. Wars aren't decided by strength or courage. They're decided by decision traps. Generals protect ego instead of army. Politicians optimize for looking strong instead of being strategic. Leaders choose what feels right instead of what works. Sun Wu writes this down. 13 chapters, 6,000 words. First chapter title, G, calculations. Not philosophy, code. 5 variables. Run the simulation. Win probability below 70%, don't fight. But here's what makes it terrifying. Sun Wu doesn't care about winning. He cares about making the enemy optimize themselves into destruction. King Helu grants him an audience. Sun Wu says, I can make anyone obey any command. Helu says, prove it. Sun Wu asks for 180 palace women, divides them into squads, explains commands. Do you understand? They say yes. Then giggle. Watch what happens next. Sun Wu calls the executioner, orders the 2 squad captains beheaded, the king's 2 favorites. King Helu panics. Stop! Spare them! Sun Wu's response. Once I have received your majesty's mandate to command, there are orders of the sovereign I cannot accept. Executes them, in front of everyone. Promotes 2 new captains. Turn left. Everyone turns left. Flawlessly. Next hour. Every command executed with mechanical precision. This wasn't about discipline. Sun Wu just demonstrated that humans are hackable. Change the cost function. Eliminate negotiation. Make the incentive structure crystal clear. Those women weren't trained. They were reprogrammed. 1 execution. 178 perfect soldiers. King Helu makes him a general immediately. But here's what Helu doesn't understand yet. Sun Wu didn't just hack those women. He hacked the king. By making him watch. By proving results matter more than feelings. Helu just accepted a new operating system. 506 BC. Helu wants to invade Chu, the regional superpower. Chu has 200,000 troops. Wu has 30,000. Every advisor says suicide. Sun Wu says, we'll win. Because I'm not going to beat Chu's army. I'm going to trap their generals in a decision loop they can't escape. Step 1. Feed false information. Small raiding parties hit Chu's northern border. Loud, visible. Chu's generals run the obvious calculation. 7-to-1 advantage. Split forces. Chase them down. They're optimizing for the obvious move. That's the trap. Step 2. Rewrite the terrain. While Chu marches north, Wu's main force moves through impossible terrain. 72 hours, 200 miles inside Chu territory. Step 3. Force the decision trap. Chu's generals get the message. Wu is south. Your forces are scattered north. 3 options. Option A. Recall troops. 5 days. Wu takes your capital. Option B. Fight fragmented. Lose everywhere. Option C. Defend capital. Abandon forward armies. Total collapse. Every option is rational. Every option leads to destruction. This is a Nash equilibrium trap 2,400 years before Nash. You're not losing because you made a mistake. You're losing because someone designed a game where all your best moves are losing moves. Chu chooses option B. 5 battles. Chu loses every one. Not because Wu's soldiers are superhuman, because Sun Wu controls the geometry, high ground, river crossings, narrow valleys. By the final battle, Chu's soldiers break before contact. They've realized the game is rigged. Within weeks, Wu occupies Chu's capital. 30,000 troops conquered a 200,000-man empire. Sun Wu didn't win. He made Chu lose. Pause here. Because this algorithm doesn't just work on ancient armies. It works on you. Right now, think about your last major decision. Career, relationship, investment. Did you make the optimal choice, or the choice that felt less bad than the alternatives? Did you solve the problem, or avoid immediate pain? That's the trap. We optimize for short-term relief instead of long-term survival. We defend ego instead of changing strategy. We keep doing what's familiar even when it's killing us. Because changing course feels like admitting we were wrong. And admitting we're wrong feels worse than being wrong. This is why the Pentagon ran a simulation in '64 predicting Vietnam failure, then spent 10 years proving it right. This is why the US invaded Iraq with 1/3 the necessary troops, then acted surprised at the chaos. This is why America spent $2 trillion in Afghanistan training an army that optimized for funding metrics instead of survival, collapsed in 11 days. Every decision was rational in isolation. Every decision led to catastrophic failure. The decision makers were trapped in an incentive structure that rewarded looking decisive over being strategic. You're watching this and thinking, that's governments, that's militaries. No, that's you. How many times have you stayed in a failing situation because quitting felt like losing? How many times have you doubled down on a bad strategy because admitting the mistake felt worse than the consequences? You're not running the algorithm. The algorithm is running you. Here's the terrifying part. Sun Wu's system was so perfect it destroyed the state that used it. After conquering Chu, King Helu becomes addicted to winning. 496 BC. Ignores Sun Wu's advice. Attacks Yu. Variables don't line up. Probability too low. Attacks anyway. Dies from infection. His son Fuchai defeats Yue, but lets their king live. Sun Wu warns. A humiliated enemy who survives is more dangerous than a destroyed one. Fuchai ignores him. Killing a defeated king feels wrong. That feeling costs everything. Yue's king, Gu Jian, spends 20 years planning revenge. Doesn't attack Wu, hacks Wu's incentive structure, sends women, craftsmen, merchants, makes Wu rich, soft, complacent. Sun Wu sees it. Gu Jian is running the same algorithm Wu used on Chu. 473 BC. Yue attacks. Wu collapses in weeks. King Fuchai commits suicide. Wu erased from the map. The state Sun Wu saved destroyed itself. Because humans can't stop running the algorithm even when they know it's killing them. Sun Wu disappears after Wu's early victories. Some say Fuchai executed him. A man who predicts outcomes is too dangerous when you want to ignore his advice. Others say he walked away. One tradition says his last words were, "I gave you the code, but I can't stop you from running it against yourselves." 2026. Right now, a Pentagon analyst writes a report predicting the next failure. A politician files it away. A CEO ignores data showing their strategy is unsustainable. And you're making a decision that feels right but is mathematically wrong. You'll keep making it. Because the algorithm Sun Wu discovered 2,500 years ago is still running. We're not executing it. We're the variables being calculated. His book survived. 13 chapters, 6,000 words. Not because it's wise, because it's true. You're not reading ancient philosophy. You're reading your own source code. The pattern that destroyed Chu, that destroyed Wu, that cost America $6 trillion? It's the same pattern running in your brain right now. Defending what's familiar instead of what works. Choosing what feels safe instead of what's optimal. Staying in the trap because leaving the trap requires admitting you walked into it. Sun Wu didn't write a war manual. He wrote a mirror. And 2,500 years later, we still can't look at it without flinching. Next episode, Zhang Guoshe, Strategies of the Warring States. If Sun Tzu taught you how decision traps work, Zhang Guoshe teaches something darker. How to survive when you've already lost, how to weaponize betrayal, How to make your enemies destroy each other while you watch. Subscribe, because the players who don't know they're in a game aren't players. They're being played. And right now, somewhere, someone just moved you.